Hi everyone. I'm going to do another little page in my art journal using prompts from Janet Nash's prompt game that she does on her YouTube channel on Monday mornings. And this one was from April 11th of this year. So these are the prompts that she drew one at a time. And I'm going to put a page together. The first thing was a face, and the second one was a vintage photo, and so I'm going to combine the two, and I'm going to use this face on this vintage photo. This is a picture of my mom when she was 15. It is vintage. It's a print of a vintage photo. It was taken in roughly 1944, and I've just always loved this picture of her. And I thought this was a perfect time to be able to use it in a journal spread. So this is going to be more of a page on a personal side, I guess. And I just thought it would be fun to do, and I would love to have this photograph in this journal. So I'm going to be adding this later, and I'm going to start with the magazine, page 34, to put down as part of my background. I went through a couple of magazines, I don't know, 3 or 4 I guess, and every time I got to page 34 it was an ad. There's not always good things you can find on an ad. But when I got to this magazine, and I don't even remember which magazine it is, oh, Family Circle, here we go. So when I got to this one, it was still an ad, and it had this huge picture of a tea kettle. I've already trimmed out the edges of this page so that I'd be ready for my page. But it had this tea kettle on it, which totally reminded me of my mom, because she always drank instant coffee, so she would have a tea kettle with the whistle on the end, you know, and when the water would boil, the whistle would blow, and that's when I knew she was having her coffee. And of course, as I got older, I was able to have coffee with her too. And so I grew up from my teenage years drinking instant coffee, which I don't drink today. Once I tasted brewed coffee, I was never again going back to instant. But I'm going to add this to my page. So I'm going to cut off the page. Let's see, there's some words on the back that will help me with getting a straighter line. I'm just going to keep the kettle portion like this. I'm going to take this clip off for a minute, and it's going to attach to my page right here, and then I'm going to attach something else at the bottom. So the tea kettle was definitely a reminder of my mom. She's no longer with us, but I have very, very fond memories of her. So this is one of them, the love of coffee that we both shared. All right, so we have magazine, page 34. We've got that down. Now this is funny. She has a prompt here that says add a bagel, which I think is funny. And I'm not going to add an actual bagel to my page, but I remembered that my grandkids have a little kitchen here that they play with, a little kid's kitchen, and there's some plastic food, and I remembered that there was a bagel in the stuff, so I went digging around in the toy box and I found the bagel, and I thought it would be fun to stamp with it. So I'm gonna there's the prompt here too that says use the jelly plate, so I'm gonna put some paint on the jelly plate, and I'm gonna stamp some circles is basically what it's going to look like. But I think it'll be cool because they'll have a, you know, this open design where the holes are in the bagel. So I think that'll be fun. So that's what I'm going to be doing to fill up the rest of, you know, the bottom of this page. And I'm going to use a brown paper bag. I just sliced off the bottom of the bag, and I'm going to just cut a chunk of this out to use as a piece to go there. All right, so I have my little jelly plate out. I'm going to move everything over just a little bit so I'll have some room here. I'm going to just use the rest of this bag as a backdrop to catch any paint overflow. This little baby jelly is a little bit dirty, but that's okay. We might get some pretty color off of it. All right. So first of all, I'm going to use some paint. It's a little bit old, I know, but I'm going to use this Titan Buff on this craft paper. I think it might be a nice color. It's a little bit old, so it's kind of lumpy, so I'm hoping that it will spread out pretty well. All right, so I'm going to grab a piece of my bagel here and let's see what we can get. Actually, I think I better put a little bit more of this gloppy paint out here. Spread it all the way across the width of the little plate so that I have enough to get a good impression. And I'm just going to do a couple of these. I'll use some other things also on here, but I'm just going to use a couple of these. Let's see how this half works. It's a little bit concave, so it doesn't, it's not picking up all the paint there. So, all right, we'll just try going over here. Well, we'll go right here. You know, what I need is probably something underneath that. Get my little mouse pad that I used for this purpose. I can have something to press into. Okay, so we got a little bit. Let's see if the other side works any better. I'm going to wash these off, of course, so that they're clean for the kids to play with. But I just wanted to see if I could get a little pattern of a bagel. It's doing the same thing pretty much, so I think just getting a little bit of the circle stuff in there is going to be fine. You can pick it up. There we go. This one might be a little bit better. We'll go here. About the same, I guess. But it's fine. I guess I really don't need it to be solid, so it's okay. Works out good. Okay. So let's see, I'm laying that over here. It's fine. I'll do a little bit more just for fun. Because why not, right? Okay. Oops. There. All right. I do like that. And I'm going to get a paper towel out here and just spray these bagels with water so that the paint doesn't dry on them. Water bottle, here we go. That way it won't dry in there, and then I can take them and wash them in a little while. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Then I'm gonna just, whoops, color this, some of this paper with this paint that's left over. And then pick up the plate. Always paint that can be used later. There we go. It did pull up some of that orange that was on there. Okay, got all that paint off. Now let's see. I don't know if I want to use the jelly plate specifically anymore. I might just stamp some stuff on this. I'll keep it out just in case, but I'm gonna let that dry for now. And I'm gonna dry this a little bit and then maybe stamp some. I've got this background stamp. It's a very old stamp from Heidi Swapp, way back in 2013. It's very old. And I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on here, just in the center area, and just smack it down on the center of that. It's very vintagey looking, and so I think that will make a fun. In fact, I'm going to turn my paper over, I think, on top of it. And that would probably be easier. We'll put this on top just for protection. It can pick up any of the stuff on the outside edges. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So it gives it some just some vintagey look in the background. All right, I like it. And it helps to fill up the empty space, you know. All right, so we're going to dry that up a little bit. And I kind of think I've got a stamp that has some numbers on it. And I think I want to do some of those, but in a little bit of a darker brown. So get the Stays On in the timber brown and do some of that. Love that. Love it. So fun to use that later in collage. All right, so what we have now is add a bagel. Use the jelly plate. We got the vintage, well, we don't have the photo yet. I won't put that yet because I haven't added it. All right, and then, so the next thing to do then is to add that photo. And I'm going to use a little bit of distress ink. This one is tea dye. We'll see if it's dark enough, and if it's not, I'll use some vintage photo. I just want to put a little bit of color on there. To get some of that white edge off. Let's put that on. I'm going to put just some glue in the center in case I decide I want to come back with anything around the edge tucked under. I don't know that I will, but just in case. A little bit more. There we go. All right, so now we have the vintage photo and the face. And so the only thing that's left is "You are stronger than you know," which is a little quote. And I did something the other day that I had been thinking about doing for a long time, and I just never got around to actually doing it. And that was, I've been wondering if you could type with a typewriter on fabric. So I tried it, and guess what? You can. I was so excited and wished I had done this a lot earlier. But this is a piece of coffee dyed muslin fabric, or either it was a piece of an old pillowcase or something like that, I think. And it is coffee dyed, whatever the fabric was, it is coffee dyed. And so I just typed that out on the typewriter, and it works beautifully. So if you guys want to do something different and you have an old typewriter sitting around, there you go. There's a good idea, because it works and it's different, you know. All right, I'm going to use a little bit of the Fabri-Tac to stick that down. Oh, I love that. I like the vintagey look of it, using the coffee stained fabric. That's great. Yeah, I'm loving it. Okay, so now we have all of the prompts on the page. So now I'm going to add a few more things just to finish it off. And I'm going to put this little piece of ephemera, of a spool of thread. My mama taught me to sew. So, of course, I can't put all the things on this page that my mama taught me to do, but I do want to add a few things just because, you know, just because I can. All right, so I'm going to put that there, and I have a little piece of, this was green lace, and I coffee stained it. It was originally a brighter green, so you can see the difference. And I cut 1/2 of it off, so it's a little strip that I thought would be pretty to just add another little bit of vintage flair across the bottom. And I'm also going to put a button here and make like a little cluster sort of thing in the corner there, and also a tiny little one of those little tiny gold pins that we've all used, and just think it'll look really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it to the lace now, and then I'll glue it on, and it'll be much easier to get it in place. Okay, there, like that. Isn't that cute? I think that's sweet. So I wanted to sew the button on, but because there's already something on the other page, I really couldn't do that. So I just sewed the thread onto the button, and then I'm going to just glue it in place. So that's a good way to make it look like it's sewn on the page, even though it really isn't. There, you can see what it looks like. I like that. Just very fun. Now, up at the top of the page, I'm going to put a little piece of, it's actually part of a tag. I took a bigger tag and cut it down, so I had cut off one side, and so that's the remaining piece of that side. So I'm going to put that at the top up here, but before I stick it down, I'm going to put some of this washi tape that has the little birds on it. My mom loved birds. Surprise, surprise, right? And so I want to put a little strip of the washi tape here, and then I'll put that piece, and it'll kind of look like the birds are sitting on that little strip. Okay, and while I have this little bird tape out, I'm going to put a little bit, just one little birdie on the bottom of the tag. Okay, so now this tag, that sweet there on the bottom, I like that. Adorable. Okay, so this tag is going to just tuck behind the photo a little bit right there. And if I find that there's problems and it's not staying in, then I'll just put a paper clip on too. But before I put the tag in there, I want to add a couple of things. I have a rub on here of a pretty little rose I thought might look pretty on that tag. So I'm going to just cut that out. See if I can get it on the tag. Oh wow. My mama loved chickens too, and I see there's a chicken on this. May have to find a place for that. She loved flowers. She liked growing flowers. They brought her a lot of joy. So I thought this rose might be a nice addition, and it's nice and light colored. Maybe I should put it kind of here because I've got a little coffee cup. Also, it's a little clear sticker that I want to put on there. And so maybe having the rose up there wouldn't be a bad idea. And then I can have the little cup here. And maybe even the chicken. We'll see. Now this coffee in here was dark. It was like a black coffee, like the way I drink mine, dark without milk. But my mama drank it with milk. So I put a little piece of coffee stain paper on the top of that to make the coffee a little lighter. Because, you know. That's really showing through there. I don't like that. So I might need to put a little piece of paper in the corner. Put a little bit of maybe book text in the corner. That's actually kind of pretty with the color of the rose and all there. I like that. Just love how things work out when you start playing. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Finally, the little cup gets to go on. Oh no, it's pretty see-through. I think I might have to stick this down to something white and then cut it out and put it on. I just want that white cup to show. And the reason I want the white cup to show so much is this is exactly exactly the type of cups my mom had when I was growing up, and she would drink her coffee out of those all the time. So I just kind of want it to look like her coffee. Nothing wrong with that, right? Not a thing. Okay. Yeah, I like that much better. Then I had one more little thing that I wanted to put on. I've got a little sticker here that says cherished memories, and I thought that would be really sweet to put maybe right here. And I like the way the green of the ribbon on the bottom ties in with that, so you can see how there's green on that and then the green at the bottom. It just looks really nice. But I'm going to put some glue on here too, because I don't trust, you know, the stickers sometimes. And that kind of covers up the end of that strip and all too. I like the way that finishes that off. Okay, make sure I got that straight. Yep, that looks pretty good. This paper is so thin on this picture, I don't know if that's the best place to tuck that anymore, but it would look cute on top too. So there we go. A sweet little page that holds lots of memories of my mom. Take care, everyone, and we will see you again soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.